we forgot to turn on the microphone last time when we recorded. In fact, we forgot at any volume, so we're doing voiceover like Babish, just without the student voices.
So, in case you're confused as to why we're mad, why we're making
I forgot the controls
a
for
mistake.
Pokemon.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
And any
but-
disembodied voices you hear are Hunter and Keely.
yeah.
Yep.
Peanut gallery in the back.
Ghosts.
Peanut gallery to the left.
Okay, but did either of you
Back.
do anything to a teacher that, like, you either pulled a prank on them, or, like, you even yelled at them, anything like that?
No, I was a good kid.
A teacher threw a marker at my throat once because I fell asleep in class. That's all I ever did to teachers was
That's
fall
pretty
asleep
cool.
while they were talking. All the time.
We have a
Yes.
story from the peanut
Yes.
gallery.
I didn't do this, but one of my friends.
Oh, I was like, was it me? Because
No.
I did a couple times.
No, I didn't do this, but one of my friends who was a couple years older than me, the teacher had IBS and was an absolute monster of a teacher and left one day the classroom, and so the class apparently collectively sips her coffee.
You want to say that a bit louder so the microphone actually catches it?
They put laxatives in her coffee.
That itchy butt syndrome be hitting hard. Oh man, that's good actually. I wish I would have done that.
You would have put laxatives!
I kid you not, Kenny would be the absolute worst student. He would be my
Hunter's a
least
teacher.
favorite.
Hunter had my boss's son in her class.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird hearing my boss refer to her as by her last name instead of
Yeah.
Hunter. I was like, no, she's Hunter.
You mean Hunter?
He's like, yeah, we're talking about the same person.
You're like, no, we're not.
Clearly.
No, the best one I did was, I think, senior year. And there was some really annoying, like, high-functioning, socially irritating kids in my class. And it was the...
I didn't realize
debate
you and
kids?
JD were in the same grade.
Sorry, it was sophomore year. And it was the... Nice. But,
Got him.
funny. But do you guys remember, like, the... It wasn't, like, freshman cornerstone. It was, like, Global Perspectives. Was they had, like, a freshman
I
one.
went to a small podunk school in the woods of
Don't know what
Northwest
you're talking
Washington.
So in our...
We didn't even have a tennis team.
So in my...
I only took necessary classes. Unless they were shop classes. Then I took
Yeah,
These
all
were-
of us are
these
from
were
small
required.
towns, Kenny.
These were required. I'm from a small town.
Check your
Fine.
privilege.
You're from How many kids you Oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said where you're from. How many kids do you have in your high school?
2,400.
You're from a small town!
We had
How
under
big was your
400.
graduating class?
We had more than 400, but
600?
like, I think
Okay. I had
probably
1,100 kids in
maybe 800.
my
We
high
had-
school.
maybe.
I
Give or
had
depending on you, we had about
264
100
or
kids
something
per
in my
class.
graduating class.
And then as you
So
got
your
to like,
freshman
senior
year
kids
was
would be dropping
huge.
out, obviously.
We
so.
had
Like, when you were
Every
senior.
our
freshman
town
year
that we're
after
from
me got
is
bigger.
still
Yeah.
considered a
So-
village. It's so small.
So, fun fact, where I'm from is considered a partial ghost town. So I grew
So
up,
cool!
right?
Partial. It's the
Yeah,
Danny Phantom
so I
town.
grew up, in the foothills of Cascade Mountains, and there was a gold rush there, I forget when, and then the lumber industry moved in and kept it alive. But then as the gold rush died, the lumber industry slightly died, so now it's considered a partial ghost town, and is basically a ski resort.
That's pretty cool, though.
What?
I would like to live in a ski
But
resort. But, okay, so, sorry. In my time, freshman year, we had, like, freshman cornerstone, which is the school was like, let us instill study habits. And then they don't instill any study habits in me whatsoever, because we straight up did guided meditation on the ground once.
What?
For 5 minutes. It was a very weird thing. Our teacher was high half the time, I think. But then sophomore year, I want to say, is when we had something called Global Perspectives, which was, it used to be civics, is what the sort of old school class used to be. You had a civics course in high school. Ours ended up becoming Global Perspectives, where we learned about different cultures-ish. By that they mean they hired a giant land whale of a woman that had Nelson Mandela's hand tattooed on her inner wrist, and they were like, yeah, that's the best we got. So, that's what we had. It's very weird.
Just an all-white person they could find in the Boise area.
Yep. It was something, man. But, so she thought she could, because at this time, BBC's Sherlock was very popular.
Oh, no.
And so this woman thought that she could, like, deduce everyone's personality and characteristics and habits and stuff.
So
And
she pointed to you and was like, "You're a jerk."
Don't think about
no,
phone
but you're
games.
actually kind of
Don't think about
close.
the phone game.
An alcoholic. But, no, so what actually happened is, first off, she said, okay, everyone tell me a little bit about yourself. And we all did a little bit.
Well, then where's the deducing?
And then, well, by that I mean...
Real
she-
Sherlock doesn't need you to say anything.
Yes, she would listen to us say something like that and be like, yeah, I figured it out. That was her. That was her deduction skills. So then she wanted to really put it to the test, which is she was like, "Well, do you guys remember in freshman cornerstone having to take a color test?" It's like, "Do you mean checking for blindness?" And she's like, "No, it's the personality one." So
I
red
think
is
they-
go getter leader. Yellow
I think
is
you mean the
funny
Rorschach
guy.
test. Why do I have something about
I wish Rorschach test would have been funnier, but the personality color test is one of the biggest piles of like pseudo psychoscience junk. It's so stupid. Basically, you've got red,
I
white,
really like it.
yellow, and blue. Those are your choices. It's not scientific. It's something you can use as a general barometer, but
It's
nothing
a
in a scientific
personality
use.
check.
Yes.
Of course it's not scientific.
But that's my point. But you know that. I know that.
So Wally P. Nesser was a little
Did not know that. Nelson Mandela's second hand did not know. So she proceeds to go through, and she's like, "Okay,"
I've heard of a third leg, but not a third hand.
because she had his thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so
Keep going.
she's like, "All right, for those of the uninitiated, the red basically means like angry, driven leader type, very serious. Yellow means funny guy. Blue means depressed, and white means
That's
you are
right.
literally nobody."
Stop, that's hilarious.
I'm only taking slight liberties here, by the way. It's not very far off the mark of what she said. And so white is just, I think she said like,
really anti-white
white,
people.
white means lazy. And so,
Oh,
which,
okay.
taken out of context, is, I wish I had that recorded, because holy crap, I could have used that against her. In a group full of white kids. But, so she goes through the class and points to every kid and assigns them a color personality thing.
Without taking any tests or nothing.
Yes, you
she's
mean
just
the
like,
exact opposite of how it should go?
I know.
It's like your first date, she doesn't
I am
even know
an
you.
empath.
This is the first day.
She's like, I am an empath. I know.
Please,
As an
did
empath.
she do like Professor X? Just
No, she did the
Like the
Mind
side
Palace BBC
thing?
Sherlock. She's like
Seriously?
she actually shook
she's
your
flitting
head.
through. Nah, she had a sly smile on her face and moved her giant spectacles up and down and be like,
Also, she
I
thought she was an
think
anime character. The
yes, Flash, pathetic. That was basically what she did the entire time. And so she
I see
went through.
you are a man of culture as well.
So, guess what do you think that she put me as?
You?
white. Consider you're whiter than
No,
Silent
she
Green.
probably was like, you're
Yellow?
the funny guy.
Think the funny guy,
Yeah.
I'm going with red.
the angry. So we've hit literally everybody except for Blue. So what do you think?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like you were very depressed during high school.
Uh,
Maybe it
Well,
was high
it doesn't
school.
sound
We
like you
were all
acted
depressed.
like she would have thought you were depressed during the first day.
so
red or what?
she looked at me, and without doing more than a passing glance, she went, white, and then
Oh,
moved
gosh.
onwards.
It's like, well, I
That
know
makes
I
sense.
am, but what color?
So, so I looked at her receding massive backside, and I said, you know what, I've got an idea, red hair. I think I can figure out a way to change your mind about what I am.
Wait, you said this out loud?
No! I was hatching a plan.
Oh, okay.
And
got
so,
it.
no, there were these very annoying kids that, for some reason, a lot of people really liked. And so let's call him
usually-
Were
like...
you part of it?
Let's... No.
That's probably his
Like
older
kids
sister.
were.
It was Jesse's fan club. He's
So,
annoying
These
kid.
were the so they were high functioning but socially just grating. They were so annoying, but for some reason, I think it's because they were decent at sports. A decent amount of people like kind of followed them around like
Okay.
lemmings. So these guys, oh my gosh, let's call them John and Tom. So
Okay.
John and Tom were usually friends, but they were highly erratic and very much like I'll change my allegiances at the drop of the hat because you slightly inconvenience me type of people.
Got it.
So they're kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And they're not very quieting to be around. So,
Okay.
John puts his earbuds up on his desk as he's moving around. As I walk to the teacher, I take them and I put them in my back pocket. And I'm like, I would like the hall pass to go to the bathroom. The bathroom is literally right outside our door. So I grab it and I go to the bathroom and I wait. Suddenly I hear a yell. About 5 minutes after I sat down on the toilet, I hear a yell from the classroom. And so I'm like, I believe it has worked. And so I wash my hands, I get up out, and I watch, and the classroom has split in half, like Solomon. Each half is completely fighting the other, by the way, as John is yelling at Tom that he must have stolen his earbuds, because how else could it have happened? They were sitting next to each other, of course it was him. And Tom was like, I cannot believe you would ever disrespect my honor like this. They have flipped each other's desks over.
Like as barricades.
These
They're losing their
Used to be
minds.
a desk that opened up where you could store stuff inside.
I
Oh, that would
wish.
be so
That would have been so funny. But they sort of have
That's
turned
what
each other's
happens
desks over and like threatening each other with their like chairs as a joust. And like the entire class is split on who believes who. And she's looking at the class like, I don't know what I'm supposed to have done. Like, where did I go wrong? And I'm like, well, Sherlock, I've got a solution here. So I like walk up, I'm like, thank you for the hall pass. And underneath the hall pass, I flipped and it was the earbuds. And I set them down on the table and I sat back at my now flipped over desk. And I right-sided it up, I sit it back down, and I'm like, alright, time to watch. And
That's what you get for calling me a white boy.
Yep. And so she has to,
White boy summer!
so she looks at me and she makes the calculation of, okay, I can either really pitifully say that it was this kid and no one's going to believe it. And so it looks like I stole your earbuds for no particular reason and then tried to narc on a small child over here. Or I can just take the hit and be a grown adult. There's enough size of me to take the punch. And so she could be the bigger woman, as it were. And so she takes the second choice. She drops the earbuds on his desk and be like, I found them on the ground. And with the most unconvincing lie ever. And John just looks up like, like, I cannot believe you. Puts his desk back down. He's like, I'm sorry, Tom. And then, like, sits down and begins to, like, just kind of pout for the rest of the thing. And I'm like,
So did you legit show her that you're the one who took them?
yes, because I flipped it underneath and I gave it to her.
Gosh, dude.
But literally, this is what you get for calling me white.
Yep.
You think
She was like,
I am
You think
1
I'm nothing?
30-second Cherokee Indian bitch.
It's like lazy do-nothings is what she called them. And then she was like, by the way, that's you. I'm like, here you go. I'll put in effort if it means something. It means I get something out of it.
I'll put it.
Boy, did I get a lot of entertainment. My friend Bennett, I had class with him the next period, and he's just like, so you took those? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course I did. And he's just like, I can't believe it. He's like, that was a mess. He just damned us for like 40 minutes of screaming at each other, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, that's
called me
not-
white.
You're like, I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. Don't say it.
In all honesty, I
I'm sorry to you and no one else.
She's like, next time just tell me to go to the bathroom ahead of time. Like, get me out of here.
Yeah,
Like, if you did, I couldn't have done the whole
I
bath.
think it was Pepsi down in the fridge for
The plan wouldn't have worked if you were already gone.
down in the milk.
Yeah, so that's the best memory I have of dealing with the teacher before. Oh, she was an idiot. She was so stupid for the rest of the year, but it was fun too because she never once asked me to do a single thing in the class. Because I think she was afraid that I would turn around and do something
Evil.
She didn't know what. I was like, I did something barely evil. I just had known that kid since 5th grade, and so I was like, yeah, he's a loose cannon. Kid should have gotten anger management courses 10 years ago.
Like, I can set this kid off.
Easy. Watch this.
Want to see how many buttons I can push?
Uh,
I fear not the man who's pushed 1,000 buttons, but pushed one button 1,000 times.
it's just the Larry. It's just the Larry the Lobster meme where it's like, observe as he grabs the weights.
Or the meme where the two red buttons, being a good student,
Or absolutely massacring a classroom.
causing fights in the classroom.
Oh man, I severed a friendship between those two.
Like, they didn't get along ever again.
Tom didn't accept the apology.
Oh, gosh.
So John and Tom were still against each other. Oh man, that was so much fun.
Maybe he'll accept it now. Like a public confession.
We're both adults here.
He'll just feud with you for the rest of eternity.
He's just gonna go on all our videos and dislike them.
So that's who's been doing it.
Yeah, show him. Like, joke's on you, everyone already dislikes our videos.
But hey, they're engaging.
Hey! All press is good press.
That's what I say, yeah.
Well, given
I
the
mean-
fact that we have no press, it's gotta be true.
It's just, yeah,
Tell that to Monica Lewinsky.
I mean,
It worked great for her, are you kidding me? She
You
got
know
so
me.
many speaking gigs. Like, what to do when you're under the thumb? I'm like, it was under the table first.
And below the belt.
That was a low blow.
seriously.
That was a low blow.
Must suck to be her.
Anyway, there was semen on the dress. There we go. Final joke. Because I couldn't figure out a way to wrap it up.
Alright. Mars has been defeated.
Mars got
Taken
taken by a
all of
10-year-old
their
child.
stuff. I am the god of war now.
That's me as I listen to the screams from the bathroom, like, yes!
Call me
No,
Kratos.
it's working! It's working!
I was so happy. Because I had no reason to expect it to work as good as it did. I thought they were just going to be yelling at each other, but they straight up were trying to kill each other. And I was like, yes! Oh, man.
Were they, or was it more the hold me back fight?
It was the hold me back fight. If one of their friends would have let the other go and been like, all right, fight him, they would have been like, no, keep holding me, keep holding me. Like, they were absolutely not meant to fight other people. Oh, man.
I wonder if I can change some settings to get rid of that line.
Yeah, it's really bad. If it wasn't this bad in Jedi.
Wow, it is
It
permanent.
is super bad in Pokemon. Because I'm sprinting.
Wait,
If
what
I
is it?
walked, it's not as bad.
Why is there a line?
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me.